Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. I am addressing the concerns, the questions today. When I posted my perfume collection video, you did not miss a beat. If there was a perfume that I have talked about that was not included in my perfume collection video, you best believe it was called out. People were like, are you going to address this? So, before we get into this video, I would just like to remind you all that I too am a human being, a dynamic human being with feelings and emotions and a mind of her own. You know, some people get really upset over what I choose to do with my personal belongings, and I would just like to inform you that similar to, let's say, buying clothing, you know what I mean? When you buy something at first, you may be really into it and you might be in love with that piece for a couple weeks, a couple months, a couple years. But maybe at a certain point, you kind of fall out of love with it. Maybe it's not your style anymore, you know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that you never genuinely loved it. Our tastes change. And so the same holds true with these. My objective with all of this is not to hoard perfumes. I don't care to keep something even if it's a big like for me. I need to be downright obsessed with it. I need to be using it. I just want my perfect curated collection. That's what makes me happy. If it makes you happy to have a bunch of fragrances, a mix of likes to loves to obsessions, you do that. You do you. But I'm gonna do me. So with that, let's go over all of the fragrances I have recently decluttered. I don't know about you, but it drives me insane. It is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to the fragrance community. When people say that a perfume smells like, and then all of a sudden when you read that comment or somebody says this to you in person, you're like, thank you. Now I can't get that out of my head. Now I can't unsmell it. I appreciate you. So fair warning, if you love the first couple of fragrances that I'm going to be speaking about, just like skip through, honestly, if you don't want this idea in your head. The first one that I decluttered was Imaginary Author's Memoirs of Trespasser. And I was so excited about this perfume because it was giving me Micallef Gaillac vibes, but better in my opinion. It doesn't have that clove note, which is very prominent in Gaillac. Still a great fragrance. It's just a little loud for me, that part. And it's also not as smoky in comparison. Beautiful unisex fragrance, very unique as well. It truly smells like a traveler's fragrance. It actually has a clay note, and the overall experience of the fragrance, you know, made me think of someone that was well-traveled, highly educated, and it kind of evoked this visual of Roman vases or statues architecture. We have a beautiful oak and Gaillac wood note, some resins, and then a non-edible, nice, not sugary sweet vanilla to round everything out. I love the dry down of this fragrance, but oh my gosh, my sweet boyfriend. I got this fragrance, and whenever I get a new fragrance, I get excited. I show it to him. I'm like, what do you think? This man, he ruined it for me. He told me that it smelled like kitchen spices and had a celery undertone. And when he said that, it was game over for me. I could smell it and I couldn't unsmell it. And I'm like, Eric, I love you, but please, if I love a perfume and you smell something, some part of the fragrance, and you think that perhaps telling me about this facet of it is going to be less than desirable for me, it's maybe not a comparison of like, yes, I want to smell like that. Please keep it to yourself. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so after he said that, I was getting that for the first 1 to 2 hours of wearing the fragrance, and then after that, it was the, you know, delightful dry down. But after he said that, I couldn't unsmell it. Same thing with the next one, except this time, you ruined it for me. You did. It's fine, because you were right. I mean, it does smell like it. But once I had all these people telling me this, I couldn't unsmell it, and it still smells good, but I don't want to smell like a piece of juicy fruit gum. You know what it is. You already know what it is. Xerjoff's Dolce Amalfi. Before I read all those comments, to me, it just smelled like the holidays in a bottle. It was such a warm, festive blend of vanilla, balsam, clove, cardamom, amber, a burst of zesty, unique citrus notes from the green apple and quince. Really loved that perfume. Still think it's fantastic, but then I had all these people being like, it smells like juicy fruit. And after that, it just switched gears in my head, and juicy fruit does not smell bad. It smells good. But the idea of smelling like a piece of gum doesn't really appeal to me, so. The next perfume that I decluttered was Ariana Grande Cloud 2.0 Intense. And listen, I stand by the fact that this is an amazing fragrance. I think it is seriously one of the best celebrity perfumes that has ever come out. The only reason I decluttered it is that it started to feel too young for me. And wear what you want. Like, frankly, who cares about my opinion? If you love something, wear it. Such a phenomenal perfume, but it is very sweet. Definitely has quite a young character to it. And coconut is one of my favorite notes in perfumery, but I have realized that when a coconut fragrance is like very thick, very creamy, very sweet, even though I will think it smells lovely, it's not something that I feel like completely suits me. So yes, in this stage of my life, it just felt a bit too young, too sweet for my taste, but this is an incredible, very long-lasting cream of coconut, whipped cream, vanilla, praline scent. Very girly. We have a touch of a lavender note that's very calming. It's grounded with ambroxan, musk, cashmere, and it's a very yummy, cozy scent for sure. An enormous compliment getter. Definitely has that airy cotton candy-esque kind of vibe to the overall perfume. So fantastic, just doesn't fully suit my fragrance personality anymore. I also decluttered Jo Malone's Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. And this took me a while to let go because I love the scent of that perfume. It is fantastic. It's such a unique, chic, well done scent, and I think frankly is probably like the best dominant salty fragrance that I've smelled. It's perfectly unisex. It smells like you're walking along the shore of a rocky beach. It's gloomy out. It's very gray. You have a mist of a sea breeze hit you. We have sage bushes surrounding the area, some driftwood. It's an amazing perfume. I just found myself not gravitating towards it as often anymore because it is a very dominant salty fragrance. It's a dominant sage, obviously. So it's something that I had to be in the mood for. It's musky, it's citrusy, and definitely has a clean but intense aromatic bite to the fragrance. It smells dry. There's a coldness to the scent. I seriously think it's a fantastic scent. I still highly recommend it. I just found myself not reaching for it as often, unfortunately. I then decluttered Meleg's Mushin Incense. I had such a different experience with the scent when I got it brand new. Same thing with sampling. And I think that perhaps after the fragrance had been sitting and macerating for many months, the scent changed a bit, or maybe my nose changed, I don't know. But when I sampled it and when I got my full bottle, it was one of the most delightful, yummy incense, like gourmand incense fragrances I've ever smelled. It smelled like an addictive, gooey, warm apricot cinnamon pie or tart mixed with a sweet incense and wood. I reached for it one day. I was so excited to get that experience, and it smelled completely different on me. The wood notes turned quite animalic. It makes me so sad because that fresh juice, the young juice, was fantastic, but animalic scent profiles are just a no for me. I can't do it. And it was like overwhelmingly that. So unfortunately, I had to let that one go. I've addressed this in a past video, but I haven't addressed it in an official declutter video. So here we go. I decluttered Navitus Soir Exclusive. I still highly recommend this fragrance. I think it's fantastic and by far one of the best from the brand. I am just not much of an almond girl. You know, almond perfumes smell nice for sure. I just don't resonate with them. It doesn't feel like me, and it's not, you know, an overall scent profile that I want to smell all day. For a while though, it's absolutely what I wanted to smell like, and it's by far one of the top best almond perfumes on the market, in my opinion. Very cozy, incredible lasting power, a great unisex fragrance option for people who enjoy gourmand scents. And yeah, it was a unique blend of notes for sure. We have marshmallow, almond, vanilla, tonka bean. Those were the main things that would jump out at me. So you have this like creamy, nutty factor. It's fluffy, it's sweet, but not overwhelmingly so. It definitely has a density to the fragrance, and then it's grounded with wood, balsam, and then a unique little touch of licorice to give it a little bit of an edge. Very, very good perfume. It's truly a me thing, not a you thing. That's the case with the majority of the fragrances I'm going over today, honestly. Next fragrance was Genre Parfum Apple and Aces, and I still think to this day that it's the best apple fragrance I've ever smelled. A fantastic unisex fragrance option, so incredibly smooth, well blended, fantastic price point. This is an indie fragrance house. You can find them on Etsy. I can definitely tell the amount of love that went into this scent. The packaging is very nice. And when you look at the list of notes, it can perhaps look intimidating or overwhelming because we have a lot of booziness. We have rum, cognac, and wine. We have leather, oud, tobacco. So to some, it can sound overwhelming, but when I tell you, smooth blend of these notes, dominant, juicy red apple, fantastic on its own, great for layering if you want to add like a cool, fruity nuance to your scent of the day, but it absolutely has character and edge. It literally has not been done before. The only reason I decluttered it is because I realized I don't really resonate with the note of apple. I think it smells great. I feel like you're gonna be hearing a lot of the same excuses in this video. I think it smells great, but it doesn't resonate with me, I've discovered. It did at first, okay? It got a lot of love, but I only needed a little bit because it has great performance. But I realized over time that just a dominant apple presence doesn't 100% feel like me, and I need to wear my perfume. My perfume is not gonna wear me. No, it's not gonna happen, babe, okay? It needs to be an extension of me. It needs to be an extension of my personality. I want it to feel like I'm wearing my perfume, not somebody else's scent, even if that scent is fantastic. I decluttered another Xerjoff. We had a roller coaster of a relationship. I've never at any point disliked the fragrance, but it is very unique. So for a long time in the beginning of trying Xerjoff La Capitale, it was definitely intrigue at first sniff. I recognized that it was a fantastic, unique fragrance. I went through several decants and I just kept thinking about the scent. It really is quite special. And then I got the bottle, I was wearing it, I got compliments. I definitely felt cool wearing this fragrance, but it does have a very prominent fizziness to the scent that just like overtakes and overwhelms everything. I feel like it's how the saffron, peach, and ginger are done. I don't know, I just felt like I was being overwhelmed by this champagne bubble fizziness that would kind of like enter my nose and my head. And that was definitely the most dominant quality of the fragrance that I would get. If you've never smelled it before, it's not gonna smell anything like how you would expect it to. You know, it has strawberry, peach, caramel, vanilla, but to me at least, it doesn't smell edible. It's not a gourmand smelling perfume. It's definitely fruity, but it's not like a juicy, I'm biting into this fruity. It's zesty, fizzy, bubbly. It has a tartness to it. The caramel and vanilla is thinned out and you have a very smooth base of leather. It's not like, boom, here's leather. The fragrance is great. You just have to resonate with that more fizzy quality. I let go of one of my commodities. Commodity milk. Dude, I don't know what the frick happened to my nose, honestly, because for the longest time, this scent is like cozy, warm, sweet, creamy, not too overly lactonic because I don't want to be, you know, super milky smelling. So heavy on that marshmallow tonka bean. As it dries down, the marshmallow quiets down a bit and we have a mahogany wood that gets introduced. It levels everything out, helps to tone down those gourmand notes. We have a sweet musk, very nice perfume, very crowd pleasing. People freaking love this perfume. Tell me why one day that I went to wear it, all of a sudden, I think it's the tonka bean, that note just switched and to my nose started smelling like almond, like overwhelmingly almond. And specifically how that tonka bean note is done reminds me a lot of how it's done in Navitus Soir Exclusive. Soir Exclusive also has marshmallow in it, but it is more dynamic, more unique. We have more elements in Soir Exclusive in comparison. So again, still a great smelling perfume, but for some reason after all this time of wearing it, just one day, randomly, and ever since then, that tonka bean registers as almond to my nose. So I gave it to my sister and she loves it. I also decluttered Sol de Janeiro Sol Cheirosa 62, iconic fragrance. It's a really incredible spring summer gourmand. It's vanilla, caramel, nutty, but not too nutty. The pistachio and almond are really well done. It just smells happy. It feels sunny. It puts you in this, you know, summertime vacation kind of mood. It just started to feel too young for me and I outgrew it, but anyone can wear it. Great fragrance. I've mentioned this previously, but a while ago I got Stefan Humbert Lucas God of Fire, and it is by far the best mango fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. And seriously, if I'm reaching for a mango perfume, that is the one I want. I love it so much. I decluttered the other two mango perfumes that I owned, Parle de Parfum Chypre Mojo 45 and Neela Vermeire Bombay Bling. Great fragrances, but they just don't hold a candle to God of Fire. They don't have that same wow factor. Chypre Mojo 45 was great. It's a authentic ripe mango with patchouli. Very powerful. You only need a couple sprays. I feel like it has a lot of impact for the first couple hours that you wear it, like only a couple sprays, otherwise you can offend people. But it is a scent that you have to top off because after several hours of wearing it, like it's loud, but then it's super quiet and close to the skin. And then Bombay Bling is a super likable, crowd-pleasing perfume. That one definitely got me compliments. And even though I don't recommend blind buying, I feel like Bombay Bling is a blind buy safe perfume. It's just very likable. Beautiful blend of fruity notes. We of course have mango, blackcurrant, lychee. We have tropical florals, ylang ylang, frangipani, tuberose. We have a nice warm vanilla to sweeten things out, but it's not overly sweet. Just a fun, fruity, floral, spring, summer, feminine perfume. But again, God of Fire is number one. Next, Histoires de Parfum. This is not a blue bottle, 1.2. Chris, the Perfume Nest, said that this perfume smells like Buttercup from The Princess Diaries. No, not what the frick, The Princess Diaries? The Princess Bride. Thank you very much. She was not wrong. The moment she said that, I was like, yes, ma'am. that is Buttercup in a bottle. Could not think of a better pairing. It is a beautiful, floral, feminine perfume. Definitely has this princessy vibe to it. But I realized never 100% felt like me because it does have a heavy lilac note. And I'm not one that's really into prominent purple florals except for iris. It's creamy, dainty, powdery. We have Ylang Ylang, Lily of the Valley. So the fragrance has this almost romanticized vintage quality to it, but turned more modern. I feel like if you're into that dreamy vintage aesthetic, you would be really into this perfume. And then we have a gorgeous, addictive, creamy vanilla note. Stunning perfume. But I feel like it's a scent that fits more of like a whimsical girly girl kind of personality. And the last perfume is Skylar's Capri Summer. Easy reach, very likable summer citrus perfume. It's juicy and refreshing. We have bergamot, blood orange, grapefruit. There's a fresh green quality from the neroli and a clean white floral base. Very pretty perfume. I literally went through half the bottle. It was a huge compliment getter for me. You know how I can be. I tend to like my more impactful fragrances, more unique scents. And like I said, I went through a good amount of it, but after a while I was like, I'm wanting more. And when I'm looking for a refreshing citrus perfume, Byredo Bald Freak. Every time. So you are now up to date with my declutters. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so, so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!